What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. I'm reading your minds. It's that damned old rusty car again. You know, this always makes trouble. And it does most of the time. This is a monumental day for the RUC. It is a monumental thing for this old bucket of bolts right here. You got to think the trip this car's had on his road of life. 1992 Pontiac Grand Prix Winston Cup stock car. This car's went from that to Busch to Hooters Cup to ARCA, looking under the bottom, Demolition Derby possibly, cosmetically restored, and stuck in a garage in Oneida, Tennessee, where we found it on Marketplace. And if you go back to the VinWiki story or the story here with this thing, this car was bought totally on a whim. You know, my buddy Charlie in Alabama went and picked it up for me. He was so excited about Rusty. This guy was like the biggest Rusty Wallace fan ever that had this car. Had it sitting in his garage next to a Camry. Not a racing Camry, like Mama's Camry. You know, cool looking piece. I thought, hey man, rollers are cool, you know, I mean, stuff like that. The car had an engine in it. It ran-ish. It got pushed on a trailer. You know, my buddy Charles like, I'm going to get this thing running before I send it to you. You know, hey, whatever. They get it running, and you know, the video of it going down the road in the middle of nowhere, Alabama. The only problem is, that's a great video when it's passing the truck and it goes just over the hill out of sight. Well, as soon as it gets to the bottom of that hill, it shits the bed, loses oil pressure, and locks down. My buddy Charlie comes to the rescue. He goes, man, I got an engine. We're going to swap it. 10 o'clock the next day, she was running again. They played around with it some more. We got it back. And then it was, you know, of course, all the stuff with the challenge with this thing. And I'm not going to get into that or throw any jabs. It doesn't take a genius to figure out who the real winner was in that deal. I mean, this car had so much turmoil around it, you know, and I mean, it was so funny. And then, of course, Ed Bolin comes up to me. You always got to say Ed Bolin. Comes up and he goes, hey, Rob, won't you be part of this whole little deal? We do the auction and charity. I love charity stuff. And it was the best enthusiast car. The best enthusiast car. Well, enthusiast is race-like, race car-like, race-inspired. It doesn't get much more race-inspired than this. So I said, hell, we threw it on there with everybody else's BMWs and Porsche Boxsters and whatnot. And we kicked their ass. We won. Raised a bunch of money for the Shriners Hospital for Children. You know, they came here, did the big check thing, all that stuff. Had a great time. That's what I love about this car. Like, it just wins. People love hearing about it. This thing's sitting in the warehouse. Anybody comes in, they're naturally, we've got $100,000 cars sitting here. They'll walk right past them and go right to this turd every time. Like, damn, that's a rusty car. And it's just that kid in all of us that this thing brings out. Well, you know, my buddy Dave in Maryland, he won the auction on this thing. And Dave's a super cool guy. And he's a car guy from way back, you know, and I've got to know Dave quite a bit. I've sold him a few vehicles over the years. And now he's got this. He's like, now what? And I said, well, Dave, I said, I'd tell you if it was mine, what I would do with it. I'd make this bitch street legal. Now you got something. And I know what you're saying. You know, there's already a handful of street legal stock cars flying around. Yes. We're not, you know, we didn't invent the flame or, you know, start the trend. I'm not going there. But with the help of my buddy Chris Dunn, AKA the Boogeyman, who builds race cars for a living out of street cars, I couldn't think of a better guy to turn a race car into a street car. I just told him, hey, do what you normally do, but reverse procedure. You know, so we sent her down to the Boogeyman shop in LA, not California, Lower Anderson, South Carolina. And he had it for a few months. And I'm going to tell you something. He has outdone himself. You know, we took this car around the track and it does race car things. It's loud. It's fast-ish, and it handles like a 2-horse wagon. You know, it's an old race car. But like I said, we took it out to the historic Grinnell Pickett Speedway, and this car was turning laps, and we had a blast with it. And like I said, we did all that for the auction stuff, which we won. Now, this thing lives on. This isn't just, yeah, that's my Rusty Wallace stock car. You know, we'll fire it up every once in a while, or we'll stick it on a trailer and take it somewhere. Or we'll take it, you know, vintage stock car racing. Boring. You can take this thing on a date. And like I said, there's been several street legal stock cars built. If you get to looking at these cars, it's very vague and very, lack of better terms, half-assed how they did it. It's a rush job. You know, they hang a set of fog lights on the front. They put some trailer tail lights on the back. You know, yeah, it's street legal. Yeah, maybe throw an LS in there. It's street legal. You know, DOT tires, which they all, if you ever notice the DOT tires look funny on them because they're the wrong sizes and all that stuff. And it's like I told Chris, I said, if we're going to do one, we're going to do it right. I want the lights to be, at a glance, you don't even notice that we put lights in this thing. I want this to still be like, holy shit, there's a stock car driving down the road, not a stock car with, you know, trailer tail lights on the back. This car is literally, all the modifications are hiding in plain sight. And I love it. I mean, the headlights are where the headlights are supposed to be. Everything's just neat, fit, and finish. I mean, like if they put headlights and taillights on a stock car, real ones, that's what it would look like. I love that. I mean, it's got real 92 Pontiac Grand Prix headlights in it and 92 Pontiac Grand Prix parts. And the coolest thing, something that probably 90% of the street legal stock cars can't say, run the VIN on it. It don't have a state issued VIN. It ain't, you know, VIN like a dune buggy or a home built car. This car's VIN is a 92 Pontiac Grand Prix, GM stamped 92 Pontiac Grand Prix. Run the Carfax on it, 1992 Pontiac Grand Prix. And I'll tell you the thing that's even crazier is this hunk of shit's got a clean title. Most of Ed's shit don't. Anyway, take that, Lambo boys. That's what makes this car cool. The fit, finish, all the lights, recessed, everything's hidden. Even inside, this still looks like a race car. Now, we did throw an extra seat in it. We had to change the roll cage around a little bit for that. And we did a few modifications. It's even got a few creature comforts. You can charge your iPhone in old Rusty going down the road now. Because, hey, gotta be able to send a tweet if you need to. Gotta stay in radio contact. You know what? I think I've talked enough about it. I'm hungry. My sweetheart ain't here, so I really can't go on a hot lunch date. So guess what, Matt? Your unsexy ass is gonna have to do, son.
We're taking the vet.
So I've been driving a C4 vet for the last 3 weeks to prepare myself, because virtually it's one step below this, I assure you. And it's more like a sidestep every day for the squeaks and the rattles and the rough ride. Yeah, we ain't taking a Corvette. We're gonna take old Rusty to lunch.
Oh, shit.
Gotta love it. First test drive with a street legal Rusty car. We didn't get pulled over. We need to do a little tuning, but you know what? All in all, it's pretty good. We didn't lose no GoPros, we didn't lose no fingers or anything like that. I think we're good. I think I need a cold one. Speaking of Miller Genuine Draft. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. What's going on, guys? This one. I'm reading your minds. Damn, nothing didn't fall off or anything. Stung a little. Rolly's still ticking. All right. Sweeping, not ticking. Anyway,